Yo, what is good, YouTube? Krishan checking back in with another video. Let's start today's video off with a recent update from Martin Fitzwater, who is currently in the rebound phase and looking insane. As we know, Martin placed a close second to Nick Walker at the New York Pro, and surprisingly, a lot of people in my comments were saying the judging is BS and the show was not close at all. But Tyler has put out his official breakdown for the show, and honestly, listening to the breakdown, you would think that Martin won the show. Tyler said that Martin peaked perfectly for this show, and the only real critiques that Tyler had for Martin was that he could execute some poses better, like the side tricep and the rear lat spread, and he could also use more separation in the arms. But I'm excited to see how Martin is going to place at his Olympia debut later this year. And if you asked me where would I have this physique placing last year, the New York version, as high as 4th place, all jokes aside. Now in the next update of the day, we have a recent update from Rubiel Mosquera Nexzilla, under 8 weeks out from the Dubai Pro. I thought Andrew Jacked was going to be doing this show, but Andrew is doing Texas. So the other big names should be Nathan Diasha and Beirut Tabani, and it's possible we see more guys jump into the show because of the prize money. But as of now, it looks like Rubiel has a great chance of qualifying for this year's Mr. Olympia, if he makes it to the show. And I believe Rubiel has been at Oxygen Gym since 12 weeks out from the Dubai Pro, and if nothing else, he will definitely be focused on this prep. Now, I can't really say I see massive improvements in his physique, but I'm hoping that Rubiel does bring better conditioning and more separation than what we saw at the Prague Pro last year. But this will only be his 2nd pro show, which is crazy. But let me know in the comment section below, what are you guys' expectations for Rubiel going into Dubai? And as I said, I think he pushed Crizzo back at that Prague Pro. Now in the next update of the day, we don't have a real physique update from Andrew Jacked, but I did want to talk about the man, the myth, the Mona Lisa. And a lot of you guys were very impressed by Andrew Jacked at this year's Pittsburgh Pro guest posing, and then we had some people that were not as impressed, and they feel like that Andrew should have looked a little bit better to be 11 weeks out from the Texas Pro at the time. But I believe this is the longest break that Andrew has taken from the stage since he turned pro, so I think we're all looking forward to seeing what he's going to bring to this year's Texas Pro. Pretty much everyone says Andrew Jacked has Mr. Olympia potential. And in the next update of the day, we have a recent update from Regan Grimes, who recently announced on the Cutler cast that he will not be competing this year. Regan feels like he has not made enough improvements to crack top 6 at this year's Olympia. And I mean, I can't really argue with him there. That's definitely going to be hard to do. Regan has a child on the way, and during the podcast, he was talking about having multiple children and not really wanting them to be too many years apart. As a person, I'm very excited for Regan, but as a bodybuilder, I'm a little bit worried. Just listening to that podcast, Regan doesn't really sound like he's focused on bodybuilding. But again, to be fair, if Regan wants to crack the top 6, he definitely does need to take a little bit more time off. But it seems like Regan, it just seems like he isn't getting closer to reaching his potential. Let me know in the comment section below, what do you guys think? And let's take a look at the competitors list for this weekend's Cali Pro, because I do think it's going to be a pretty good show. And I'm not going to go through every name on this list, but I do want to highlight a few, starting with Tonio Burton and Stuart Sutherland, who are quite possibly going to be the top 2. We have Christian Walski, who was 5th in New York, Tim Budashim, who was also in New York, Emir Omaragic. We have Ann Wynn, Joseph Kavetin, Brent Swanson, Milan Sadek. A lot of very good bodybuilders in this show, but I'm pretty sure it's going to end up coming down to Tonio and Stu. Christian Walski does look pretty good too. Now, Tonio did end up taking 3rd in New York, but I still think he brought his all-time best to the show. One of the main critiques from the Arnold Classic Brazil was his quads needed more separation, and he brought them in more separated than ever. Going into this weekend's Cali Pro, early prediction, I think Tonio is going to punch his ticket to this year's Mr. Olympia, but the Olympia will be his 4th show of the year. Now, we also have a recent update from Beef Stew, Stuart Sutherland, who was recently posing with legend Chris Cormier, and I think more guys should pose with Chris. If any pro bodybuilders watch this video, please go pose with Chris Cormier. I think he can help so many guys. And as you guys know, I really like Stuart's physique. I'm one of the few people that actually picked him over Quentin Araya going into the New York Pro, but he's going to have his hands full with Tonio. I think he's competed against Tonio 3 times, and Tonio has got the edge every single time. But let's see what happens in Cali. Now in the next update of the day, we have a recent update from Urs Kalecinski, and take a look at the chest in this side chest shot. And as you guys can see, he was working with Branch Warren, one of the hardest workers that the sport has ever seen. And I can't remember exactly what Urs said a few weeks ago, but it was something along the lines of he's going to be a serious threat for this year's Olympia title in the classic physique division. And I definitely think that Urs has to make a statement this year. He is a very young guy, but honestly, he's starting to move out of the conversation. It's starting just to revolve around Chris Bumstead, Wesley Vissers, and Ramon Dino. But Wesley has beaten Ramon and Urs at the Arnold. He has not beat them at the Mr. Olympia yet. And staying in classic physique, I wanted to notify you guys that since Stephane Matala has started prep, he has lost 30 pounds and is still currently 14 pounds over the classic physique weight cap. The only thing I can really say when it comes to Stephane is I hope he looks great despite having to lose 45 pounds over the course of prep. Literally every time I post Stephane on my Instagram story, pro bodybuilders comment and they're just like, why is he losing so much muscle? But again, all the best to Stephane. He's working with Patrick Tour. Patrick knows exactly what he's doing. But let's go ahead and wrap up today's video here with the archive of the day. You guys let me know in the comment section below, who is this legendary bodybuilder? And as always, I hope you guys did indeed enjoy this video. And if you have not done so already, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. We are on the road to 10,000 subscribers and we are getting closer by the day. I'm Krishan from GOAT Fitness and that's it. I'm out.